me think. Showed on mixed. Steven Brundage, so you can do that spin. Oh, it's down to one bar. Okay. And then, he still does a millisecond different than the one he does, what you normally show. I like the one that he shows in the lecture video, because it looks like it's really mixed up, and boom, it's instant solve. The millisecond solve. The new version looks like a checker version. I mean, that's good too. Doug Henny had a different version altogether. And a guy named Steven or David at Beach Too Big at Busch Gardens, he did something completely different to it. He did a poacher's pocket idea. The Patrick Page top it routine. My grandma talks about it on YouTube and in lecture videos. Okay. I don't know. I was going to do something. Oh, I know. I guess if I get my mind into gear, I'll be doing good. I think I did it right. I don't know. Sitting there talking, not paying attention to what I'm doing. Showed all mixed up. And you just go like this. And now it's all, yeah, I must have did it right. That's called the imagination psalm. And then this one here. Showed all mixed.
Those little plastic things so I can open up your towels.
And then the whole thing psalm. Popsicle said, that's good. Okay. Josiah liked me doing that stuff too. Musician, magician. He does a good vanishing handkerchief trick. Yeah, Davis talked about a handkerchief trick added with chemicals and God's rainbow idea. That was cool of him. Pastor Usher was in a magic mode. Said, where'd the ushers go? And the deacon, oh, they disappeared. Oh, they just reappeared. And we all laughed. Everybody's in a magic mode. I think that's cool. Anyway, it was Pastor Usher smiled when he, for church service, he watched me do this. And I went. And I looked up and he had a big smile on his face. And then he got in the magic mode. He said, where'd the deacons go? Where'd the ushers go? Oh, they disappeared. Oh, there they are. They reappeared. Bob Scopu, KTM motocross biker, friend since 1989, church member friend. Said, that's the way to do it, Bill. You mind blowing the pastor. Pastor Coles does good card tricks. Mark Taylor, youth director, does a good cowardly lion from The Wizard of Oz. Bob Scopu does a good wicked witch on The Wizard of Oz. And there's Howard Chapel, ventriloquist magician, pastor. And there's Brother James Earls, Candyman ventriloquist pastor. And then you got Mike and Amy Wager, puppet ministry. And and the teenagers helping out. And Mike and Amy Wager's children helping out in the puppet ministry. Josh Wager. And I can't remember the youngest boy. Anyway, Steven Chapel helps his dad, and his mom Joyce Thomas Chapel out in the puppet ministry, ventriloquist ministry, and illusionist magician ideas. I helped him out. Bob Scope helped him out, because in the foyer room, in Good News, before they moved the Welcome Center the way it is now, he looked right at me and talking to Bob Scope, the magician, saying, I sure wish they know how they do those big stage illusions. Bob Jones, the magician professor, made a lady appear on the dollhouse on the football field. I said, okay, I get the hint, Howard. I'll make you 6 hours worth of magic. Thank you, Bill. You're welcome. You're welcome, Howard Chapel. And then, when my dad, we were going to Lancaster, Ohio for family reunion in 1980-something, Pastor Ward Mac Palmer was pastor and suggested that we also make it a point to go for a family outing at Bob Jones Christian College in between whatever you make it your vacation trip also. So we combined the both, because right after the Bob Jones thing, we went straight to Lancaster, Ohio, and did vacation there, and then came back to Portsmouth, Virginia again. But anyway, while we're at Bob Jones, Rusty Dillard said, hey Bill, they got a magician here, and he knows David Copperfield. That's good. Then all of a sudden, we're in the service area, and they press a button, and all of a sudden, the pulpit goes down an elevator, and they said, this is for people who don't preach the Word of God right, to go down the elevator. And John Palmer looked at me, don't look at me. I didn't do it. They probably got a magician here. Turns out I was right. And I talked many years later, in the year 2023, and Pastor Will Coles, who became Pastor Good News before Pastor Mike Asher. He was after Pastor Ward Mac Palmer. Anyway, and the founder is Pastor Dallas Angley. Anyway, the Pastor Will Coles said that, well, they got more than just that disappearing pulpit. They got one that makes the piano go down and everything. I go, wow, that's neat. Thanks, I like that, all the information. Okay, what is it? Oh. I'm just thankful to Jesus to know all that stuff. My friend who just learned all the Copperfield and Doug Henning stuff, and he answered my prayers full-fold. Friends around my neighborhood, my family, my nieces and nephews, school teachers, school librarian, Miss Queeman, they all helped me to learn tons of illusion secrets fun. Even the gym teacher, Mr. Lowry. Anyway, and church member Mr. Lowry helped out, and Mrs. Lowry, Mark and Betty Taylor helped me out. They got me a piece of a mouse that moves all around with magician's wax. They got to see a magician perform. And when the Ashers were younger, they said they got to see a magic show. Well, now I made them 6 hours worth of magic. Now they're magic inclined. And everybody else say, thanks, Bill. I said, after you get done, you know how to make buildings disappear. And I told Mark Taylor, the classic Joker, Clown and Fun, he said, more like challenge. I got a very funny Mark Taylor. The Joker strikes again. Then he laughs. You should all mix. And it's all, or you can toss it like that, or a little, Steven Brundage says a little toss up is good. Or just let it revolve, like that. The millisecond one, the checker design is good that he came across, and everybody mimics it now. But if they get the video like I do, you also, that millisecond don't show the checker version. It looks like it's literally mixed up, and boom, all the sides are supposed to be shown. Looks like the whole cube is solved. Now the Doug Hennig version is where all the sides are solved except for the back. They just have extra stickers that look all mixed up. Tricky Ricky, the Bus Ministries, made it that way. But the thing is, it didn't come with instructions on how to make a pattern and put it back. I guess you just had to know how to solve a Rubik's Cube and put it that way. And you show it, man. Anyway, but Doug Hennig had a way to show it without showing the back in such a way that it looked like it showed all the colors. It was neat how Doug Hennig did that. Doug Hennig made the Rubik's Cube popular. Then Steven Brundage made the Rubik's Cube popular again. And I was praying to Jesus, either me or someone would have Copperfield be able to mix the cube and solve it, and I would motivate him to learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube and use it in one of his CBS specials. And Jesus answered my prayer that Steven Brundage is the golden key, because he let Copperfield mix it, and he solved it normally, and he did it the magic way, and both ways Copperfield was impressed by Steven Brundage. And I hope that motivated him to think about doing the Rubik's Cube. Jesus answered my prayers.